Hey y'all. Hey, I have missed y'all so much. Look, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I am AL Think Madame, and this is going to be a recap review for our kind of people. Okay, I've had a lot going on. Just yesterday alone, I had a fraud situation to try to pop off. My accounts have gotten blocked because of it. And I have to wait for a new card to come. And the way that everything has worked out, I'm lucky. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm not stressed. I started having high anxiety because of one of my payments that I had set on auto pay for yesterday. Luckily, they didn't try to draft it, and I was able to head that off at the pass. But I'm good. I am good. Everything is fine. I will be all right. But just continuously keep myself and my family lifted up in prayer. So let's go ahead and get into this recap review. Okay, so the episodes, it shows that Angela, Nikki, and Nate are at the house. They getting it in, they dancing, and they're basically teaching, I guess you could say, Nikki how to dance or how it was when they used to dance. They made it seem like they was everything back in the day. Angela and Nate started doing that kid and play dance and all of that. I'm like, y'all doing a lot. So anyway, while they were in the middle of having their family fun, Peggy came in. So Angela was happy to see her despite their last conversation that wasn't as pleasant. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that upbeat. But she was happy to see her. She said that she returned and it is what it is. So she and Angela went off to the side to have a conversation. So she was like, Tariq approached me about his daddy, and I told him I didn't know nothing, even though she really does know everything about what happened. And so she was like, look, don't give up on Tariq. He's a good dude, whatever, whatever. And also, as far as your daddy is concerned, he a snake in the grass. He is a snake. So you need to bide your time and bite your tongue because he really is a snake out here. Like, girl, you gonna learn. And it's like he has shown himself time and time again. So I would have fed him with a long handle spoon a long time ago, probably off rip as soon as I got there. And like he has just tried people left and right. There are people related to him by blood and people who are not related to him that he has tried. So it's like, child, don't nobody gotta tell me that. Despite that being her daddy, and I would have been like, ain't nobody gotta tell me that. It is what it is. Keep my good eye on him, because y'all know I'm blind. Y'all see him. So anyway, Tariq is actually now in the middle of pitching this idea to Teddy and like a group of other people who are, I guess they are investors or whatever, something about boxes and all this other stuff. Teddy acted like he was so impressed with it after the people left and all the other stuff. And he was like, look, hey, I need you to do something for me. I need you to go down to the precinct and retrieve some paperwork that Jack Harmon had because it has something to do with Darman. Y'all know that is the company that Jack and Raymond's family passed down to them over the years, and they were like best friends and all this other stuff growing up, and then now they were on the worst of terms when he died by his mother's hand, if you will. So and he was just like, when you go get the stuff, just be discreet about it. It is what it is. But because of their contracts and legal documentations and all the talks and stuff they've had, he is able to go down there and do that on his behalf. So anyway, Leah and Raymond are at the house and they're talking, and they seem to be having a moment. But then he was like, why is it that Leah has been led to believe that you and Jack are having or were having an affair? And so she was like, look, we had an event and he was drunk. She ended up coming to try to, she came in and saw him kissing me. And then, that's just what it was. You know how he is. He was like, yeah, unfortunately, I do know how he is. I was just like, child, but it is what it is. So anyway, she is concerned about him because he is steadily getting on his phone, acting as if his best friend didn't just die, even though they weren't on the best of terms, like I just said. But he was just like, oh no, I appreciate you coming to check on me. I'm good and all of that. Like phone call after phone call, text message after text message. All that stuff is just coming and rolling on in like it ain't nothing. And so he was like, no, I got some stuff I got to do. I'm working on some stuff. I know he has some paperwork ready to take over to Teddy and link up with Teddy over that has to do with writing over, signing over his shares to Teddy. And I got to see if I can get that real quick. I got to see if I can get that before he get to it. So, because I need them shares to be reverted back to me. So she just got to let him have his process. Some people, they just have to work through grief and all this other stuff. And like I already said for like the third or fourth time, that we're not on the best of terms when he died. So it is what it is. Child, Angela is at yet another function. Excuse me. Y'all know she's trying to become one of the Gracies. Listen, I honestly don't know if this is a wig or whatever that Yaya has on. Y'all know is Angela. But I cannot wait until my natural hair gets to longer lengths. Like my hair, I think right now it's like there or whatever when I actually stretch it out. But yeah, oh my gosh, I cannot wait because I already know my hair grows. I've never had a problem with growing my hair or maintaining the length or being able to maintain thickness. That ain't never been my issue. So I can't wait. Her hair was everything. You cannot tell me her hair wasn't everything. Y'all already know that's a big part of the show. So from time to time, I will be letting y'all know if I thought a hairstyle was ugly or if it was everything. And this was definitely an everything moment. So anyway, why are they over there talking? Teddy rolled up on her and tried to congratulate her on being super close to becoming a Gracie if they end up choosing her, because they are going to choose 5 people out of the however many women that are left over. So she wasn't trying to hear it. She stormed off. Like she really made a scene in front of a large gathering of people who did not even, like they didn't need to see that. It was too much going on. They was just looking like, oh, what's going on over there? But yeah, she stormed off. And what they actually have to do the next time they link up is some kind of a baking situation. I forgot the name of it, but it's a part of tradition where you share a recipe. Well, not necessarily the recipe. You have to bake something. And it has to be something from a recipe that was passed down through the years and, basically explain where it came from and what it means to you and all this stuff. So that's what she has to do if she wants to continue on and do that and see how it happens, because this is like the last leg of the race. This is what is going to determine whether or not she is going to become a Gracie. So anyway, now Angela is at the house and she ended up going live because y'all know she has a lot of people who follow her for Eve's Crown. She was letting them know that even though her mama wasn't in the kitchen like that, they ain't had no recipes to follow or whatever. What they did have was her mama stayed having honey and rose water on deck, and she would put a splash of that and stuff, and it would amplify the taste of things, and it just made everything taste better. So after she was done going live, her daughter was like, oh, okay, cool, it is what it is. Is that really true? So Angela now feels as though she moved too fast in getting to know Teddy, and Leah ended up stopping by to let her know that she admires her and the way that she has parented and that she strives to better herself. And she actually finally shared the fact that she knew that her mama tried to become a Gracie. So, of course, they ain't going to do nothing but drive her to even, really set it off to try to become a Gracie herself. Because her mama was like in the running for it and then she got arrested. So it's like, that's pretty much the only reason why she probably didn't make it. So, yeah, Piggy ended up admitting to Tariq just about everything that happened, and he wasn't here for it. He done snatched away from the heifer. It was like, thank you for telling me all that you told me, but, yeah, I ain't got time for this. And so she was like, look, I understand how you feel, but I had to face my demons, so that's why I'm coming to you now telling you what has happened. And right now he's struggling because he realizes that Teddy is trash. And it's like, you working for this man. This man over here sitting up here making it seem like he trying to help raise you after your father died when he had the main hand in his death. So it's like, you don't know what to believe, where to go. Because this man put so much money into you and he keeps making it seem like he lives for you and that he is really into the things you have going on. Because it's like, now, is this just a ploy? Is this just something that you saying Anything that I do, you try to make it seem like you live for it, but is that just because you know it's a cover up for how you really feel because you know what you did in the past? It is what it is. So anyway, Raymond went to meet up with the detective dude that we've seen before. I live for that man. I have lived for that man since the first day I ever saw him on anything. But anyway, but yeah, he wanted to know what was going on because the forensics team that he sent into Jack's room, they smelled a lingering scent of a female's perfume. And so he trying to be like, well, I don't know what's going on, whatever. And we all know that that's Raymond's mama, Olivia. Olivia the slave got distracted all her way to grandmother's house. Y'all know that song? I live for the whispers. Anyway, I digress. Excuse me. So Tariq, or whatever his name is, Tyreek, whatever his name is, y'all, he had a flashback of the day that his mama and him, I guess they were both in the hospital, and his mama learned that his daddy passed away. So she broke down, and he was just a child, so it's like he was more like anxious and scared and nervous, and it was just a lot going on. And it's like, what are you supposed to do when you find this out? So yeah, he had to keep a lot of stuff bottled up inside because he didn't know how to feel because he idolized his father. So yeah, while he was having this moment, he actually had a panic attack, breakdown, and all of this. And Raymond saw it happen, so he was like, "Man, you all right? You want some water?" So then they cut to the next scene, and he ends up having a mug of water, and he's talking to him. And, he's kind of confiding in him. He was like, this is the first time this is the longest we've ever talked in our lives. And we've known each other since we were pretty much like kids, since my daddy died and all of this. And eventually, of course, Raymond was like, I know that you here to get some paperwork. So, what is that hidden for? So he was like, see, I knew it was an ulterior motive. You ain't care nothing about me. Like the fact that you were friends with him over me, Jack. It's like, I thought that we were going to have a brotherhood. I was confused as to why you didn't want to be friends with me. Because I'm like, I'm black, you black. And I understand that where I came from, we wasn't Hasidity and we ain't have money like y'all did. But old boy paid for me to get into these schools. And I felt some type of way when the folks said somebody stole some stuff, that they looked directly at me because I'm considered to be the poor black kid. That the only reason why, yet again, I got into this organization, into this school, into this institution, is because Teddy waved his magical pen for checks to be written with, and that's how I was able to get in. But they over here saying it's me, and then evidence was produced that showed that it actually was Jack. And because Jack's parents are so rich, they were able to wave their magical pen as well, and instead of him getting legally, for real, expelled from the school, he was able to transfer to another school because he was over here stealing. And it's like, why are you stealing? You were stealing for no reason. Your parents have everything and then some. I never understood people like that. Are you just a kleptomaniac, or are you just like, oh, I'm this, so I could just do that? That has always been stupid to me. So anyway, but yeah, Tariq feels some type of way about that. And he just I just don't understand. I thought we would have a brotherhood. I really thought we could have been friends, but you over here friends with him. And he was like, it wasn't me being friends with him. I've just always had his back. And I just felt like that was something I had to do. Child, I was like, I ain't trying to hear the excuses. So anyway, Piggy is trying to turn herself in for the murder. Nate and Angela are trying to talk this heifer out of it because they're just like, that was over 20-some years ago. You doing the most. Why would you do that? What use is that going to do? Whatever. And so they were like, can you at least sleep on it? So she was like, yeah, I guess I'll sleep on it. Because at first she was like, ain't nothing you could say. So now she talking about she going to sleep on it. And I'm like, most people, as they get older, they really get set in their ways. And when they said what they said, that usually is what it's going to be. But we going to see what happens. So anyway, Leah and Raymond talked. And she really tried to, talk him down and all this stuff. And he read her, even though it was the truth. He told her, you might want to go talk to your mom about whether or not Teddy would hurt you. Because she really was like, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do those things because he was like, did you ever notice how lonely and sad he looks in these pictures and all this stuff? So she looked at the pictures and stuff. He off in the back. He was there, but he wasn't. It was a sad time for him because it's his daddy gone and he ain't got no friends. really, outside of Leah halfway being a friend to him. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, yeah, I never guessed that. I guess it was just me thinking that he, was sad because his father died or whatever, but he really was out here being a loner because he didn't have no friends. Child, when he read her about Teddy, I was like, listen, it was so true. And I was just like, yes, you better read your wife. Okay, read her. He read that up and walked off, and I was here for it. So anyway, Leah ended up going to see her mama immediately after that. So ended up asking, what did her daddy do? And apparently he was going to run off with Eve that day. Her mama was pregnant with her. Angela's mama was pregnant with her when all this happened. And this literally was the day of the elimination ball. And that's pretty much what this ceremony is going to be, that she's going to go to like the next day or whatever when they're doing this baking situation. But yeah, that's what happened. And as soon as she was going to tell her what actually happened outside of the stuff leading up to it, Teddy came in the room. I'm like, of course you would be, Johnny on the spot when she about to tell the truth. Ain't nobody got time. So he gonna ask her, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to her? Whatever. And so she's trying to ask her what's going on, and that Angela ain't trying to hear none of what he talking about, and she feels some type of way for a reason. And so he told her, Angela has no place in this family. You better get rid of her your way, and if you don't do it your way or at all, I will do it mine. And it's gonna be way worse than what you could have ever concocted. I said what I said, do it. So anyway, Olivia popped up. So y'all know Raymond is sick and tired of his mama. He had to read his mama all the way down one day. I was like, woo, child. I thought the heifer was going to slap him, but she didn't. So anyway, she over here talking about she handled Jack the way he should have. So he was like, well, I thought that was an accident. What are you talking about? Child, it's just so tired. He was just like, look, if you want my protection, meaning for the evidence that I have, which is your glass, that had your favorite concoction in it, that actually still has your shade of lipstick, the only shade of lipstick that you wear, ma'am, to not be released to the public for the police to see and run a forensics test on, I'm gonna need for you not to try me no more. Thanks. Please go somewhere. You need to get in line. Because she over here telling him, I just need you to be a good boy. Is he a dog? Is he a child? What is we talking about a good boy? Oh, I was so tired. He was tired of his spirit, so he done slammed the laptop and everything. I'm like, the screen probably broke his heart and he slammed it down. So anyway, yeah. So now they at the function, the elimination ball or whatever. And Angela had to explain to everybody Olivia is a part of the panel, child. I can't. So anyway, Olivia came over there hating like she normally does. And you could feel the hate radiating off this heifer. So she over here saying what she's saying, and Angela is trying to explain to them that, because she really tried to try. She was like, oh, did you not understand the directions? It said that it had to be something that was a recipe that was passed down to your family. So she was like, I understand that, but my mama was not much of a baker and all of that. But what she did do was, when she did make these hair products, I used things that she used for her hair conditioner or something, she said, which was honey, coconut, and rose water, and made a pound cake. Now this heifer was like, I live for a good old down home pound cake. I do too. If you, I ain't finna go into that because the density could be off. The fluffiness cannot be it. It might not be moist. It might be dry. It's just so many different factors for me. Some I can eat with ice cream or without. If I can do that, it's awesome. My mama's especially. Have y'all ever had a chocolate pound cake? Do y'all know I had a cousin who lived for my mama's chocolate pound cake so much that every year for I don't know how long, she would bake him a chocolate pound cake for his birthday and send it over to the house. Child, anyway, let me calm down because I'm trying to do this alkaline thing and it's making my mouth water. And I know I got to do right in my life, so let me calm down. But anyway, so this heifer tried to walk off, and so they were like, wait, you didn't try the cake? She was like, oh, I didn't, did I? Oh, okay. So they done passed everybody a slice of the cake. This heifer almost died. Like, wait a minute, this cake is delicious. And I was shocked that the heifer formed the words. I was very shocked that this heifer actually formulated words that actually corresponded with the truth, because she loved lying, she loved trying, and she loved just doing the absolute most. So I was like, and she one of them people who apparently she is a connoisseur of some amazing pound cake, and that pound cake did something to her soul. She could eat, like, her whole facial expression, her eyes, everything screamed out, "This is delicious." And I was like, I can't believe this heifer said this. Like, you could just tell, just hand her the membership now. Hand it to her now. This heifer is a Gracity right now. Just do it. But anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, Leah ended up pulling Angela to the side and told her that her daddy ended up hiring a lawyer and got her mama out of jail, so she don't think her daddy had nothing to do with it. And Angela was like, look, I'm going to keep digging, because I'm pretty sure Teddy has something to do with it. I don't care if I got to turn this island upside down. I got to find out what happened to my mama. I got to find out the truth, all of it. So Tariq and Raymond are talking, and he was like, look, I understand why you think that I'm fake, and it is what it is. And like I said earlier, he was like, I covered for Jake a whole lot of my life, and I didn't realize that I could choose my friends. And, he apologized, and he was like, look, he actually told him the story of how Jack was stealing and all that stuff, and that's how all that stuff happened. But yeah, while they were in the middle of talking, Teddy rolled up, and I'm like, you was just too on the spot for me. You too Johnny on the spot for me. Don't nobody have time. Like, you doing too much. So anyway, while they were in the middle of talking, he was like, oh, I'll bring that stuff by your house later on tonight, or whatever he said. Is that all right? He was like, yeah, that's great. And so it's like all three of them know what's going on here. And so Teddy is essentially throwing it in his face that he's not going to get those shares and that they are about to be transferred over to him. And it is what it is. So y'all, the time has come where everybody has to vote on the desserts that are going to win. I like how they held up a black ladle or spoon, or a lavender, which is my favorite color, spoon, if you were going to be a Gracity. If you weren't going to be a Gracity, that's when they held up the black spoon that had, like, the lavender thing on it or whatever, like a lavender bow that they had wrapped around it. So they getting down to the wire. Tell me why they were split. And I was like, Olivia, you know you're wrong. She sat up there and was one of the two people who held up a black ladle. And so this made the president, or whatever Leah is, of the Gracities now, because she had to take over Olivia's spot after she kept trying it. She had to be the tiebreaker, and this heifer ended up holding up a black ladle, and I was like, Mim, you know you wrong. It's two left shoes. Why are you doing this? Like, why your daddy got this hold on you when you know your daddy trash? It's like, your heart of hearts know your daddy trash. Like I said earlier, y'all, there are so many instances where everybody who has had any dealings with Teddy, they know he trash. And it's like, they're like, dang, but I can't get away from it. It's like a magnet. What is going on? She knew she was wrong. When she held the ladle up, she already had the look on her face of sadness. And she just knew she was wrong. Of course, Angela was devastated. And I'm like, child, you know you wrong. So anyway, Tariq ended up meeting up with Angela because he had heard what happened. And he was like, your aunt came to me and told me some stuff and all this other stuff. I was wrong for distancing myself from you. But I had a lot going on, and I'm going to do what I need to do. I noticed how both of them had on, like, green suits or whatnot, like pantsuits. I was like, oh, this is what we doing. Y'all didn't even know y'all was on the same accord like that, but y'all both had on green suits. Okay, I see y'all. So anyway, y'all, excuse me. Tariq ended up meeting up with Raymond, I think before that, and Raymond was like, I didn't think you was gonna meet up with me. Like, I guess because of the ploy, if you will, the little moment that he had with Teddy telling him he gonna come over later on that night and drop off the paperwork. He was like, well, you know, it is what it is. And they have decided that they're gonna partner up, but Tariq was like, I still gotta bring some stuff over there to him. But he brought him the paperwork. And he was like, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing with that because Jack did not sign his signature on this stuff. So he was like, look, I'm gonna do what I need to do. It is what it is. But they gotta take Teddy down. Everybody tired. Peggy did what she was gonna do and ended up saying it is what it is. I said what I said, and she ended up walking over to the place. She politely parked her vehicle and she walked into the precinct to go turn herself in. I guess we're supposed to presume that is what has happened. There were letters that were left for Angela and I guess for her niece, grandniece, or whatever, Nikki. But Angela was reading her letter. You could tell she was upset. It is what it is. So she turned herself in. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in to this recap review for Our Kind of People. Please like this video, thumbs it up, please. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Let's get down in the comment section and discuss this. Like, what did y'all like any of the hairstyles like the other people might have had? Because sometimes I see some background characters and I'm like, wait a minute. Why y'all ain't put that person in the front? I don't care if they're a background character or not. The hair be setting it off sometimes. And I'll be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Definitely Angela's was everything for me. And I can't wait until I get there. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Be safe out there. And I will see y'all next time.